Derek, thank you so much for coming in to let me interview you today.
Pleasure.
So, we're going to chat a little bit about your experience, but before we do, I would just like maybe for you to share with our audience just who you are and a little bit about yourself and what your interests are.
Right, I'm a retired lecturer, first at WITS and at UCT in African languages. I've worked on a number of African languages, Sotho, Zulu, Ye from the Caprivi Strip, and so on. Yeah.
With that as your backdrop, you began to experience some change in your hearing. Can you tell me about that?
Well, a couple of things. Firstly, my partner. For the last 18 months probably,
Mm.
I started accusing him of mumbling.
Right,
And he'd been in the theatre
right,
and knows how to project.
sure.
So why should he suddenly start mumbling?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to turn the TV up, and that I think is usually a pretty sure sign that you're not hearing properly.
Yeah,
And I find I had difficulties in distinguishing between clicks, for example.
right.
And I mean, Xhosa has quite a few clicks, and the Ye language has at least double that number of
Yes,
clicks. So distinguishing between ka and ka and ga, etc., it becomes more difficult.
right.
And I find now that I've got hearing aids, all those problems are actually resolved. My partner no longer mumbles, the
Yes,
TV's turned down,
yes,
and most people I can hear on the phone. Of course, you do get people who talk very softly.
yes,
But there's one particular friend, she's just turned 90, who
right.
has been impossible for years to hear. Even her daughter and son-in-law say, talk up, talk up. And I recently was out with her in a restaurant, and I could hear every word she said.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased. And one of the things that you mention is this idea that people mumble, and I guess what's difficult is that sometimes people do mumble.
Indeed. I'll
Uh,
tell you what it was. We visited a friend, and
yes.
she said something about her hearing aids.
Hmm.
And I said, oh, I didn't know you had a hearing problem.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, I've noticed I'm turning up the TV more and more.
Ah,
And a friend of mine said, gosh, those cicadas are making a dreadful racket. And she said, what cicadas?
right.
Now, I like the game reserve or game reserves. And my partner said to me, listen to that fish eagle. And I said, what fish eagle?
Yeah.
So I realized, no, there's something I don't
Yeah.
hear. Yeah.
So it's
And
really
it was
missing
sort of
out.
the combination of not hearing the fish eagle plus my friend saying
Yeah.
she's got hearing aids. I thought, okay, let me get tested.
It's amazing how many um, ambient experiences we become unaware that we are missing out on.